double clears.
Sub 30.
Oh, and 2 sub 30s, yes, more importantly. And we might just be heading to prize giving. It's not very often we both do well, so we are going to embrace this moment 100%.
This is the first of many to come for this year.
It's facing me, for God's sake.
I get around despite the loss. I'm over here, gotta get across. Whether you like it or not, there is a moment meant for us. And now you made it, but I already played this. Not interested, open your eyes, let's get it done. Take my hand, just follow me, shadowing me, I won. Oh, the sky is on fire. The lake has turned to a golden sun. Oh, I'll never get tired. I just want
It's cut-up time! I'm just doing a quick...
I'll never get tired. I just want
Hey guys, and welcome to this week's vlog. Seems to be a thing, me walking out through the gateway starting vlogs, doesn't it? This vlog is kindly sponsored by Digital Horse. Now that doesn't mean that it's going to change or the content's going to be any different to normal. It just means that there will be a snippet included in this which explains a little bit more about their brand ambassador competition that they have running at the moment, which ties in quite nicely really with the theme of what this week's vlog was going to be anyway, because we were all aware that the weather forecast was set to be awful, and they got it right. It is Dennis the Menace, Storm Dennis. Oh, Banksy's camera shy today. He does not want to be on camera. You alright, Boo? You don't want to be on camera today? No? Only if you've got treaties, Mum. Hey? Only if you've got treaties. What about you, little legs? Do you want to be on camera? Do you? Of course you do. You're never camera shy, are you? I tell you what though, you're pretty wet. Oh, Puss is coming too. Hi Puss, where have you gone? I saw you. Oh, there we go. He's gone the wrong way round. Yes, Storm Dennis the Menace has hit Cornwall pretty badly, which has meant that the ponies they were fortunate enough to have a couple of hours out this morning, but then they've had a duvet day for the rest of the day, haven't you? Which is gutting, because it's meant that me and Em haven't been able to do anything together. We can't go on any adventures. It's all just pretty doom and gloom, to be honest with you. Oh, the cat wants feeding, 2 secs. Gotta keep you happy, haven't we, Puss? Hey? I expect Banksy is also nodding for his tea, so let's get the ponies fed and then I can actually start this vlog properly.
I could be lying and tell you you're fine. I could be lying the rest of the night, but I won't do it, no way I'm saying so.
Hello, handsome. For the purpose of the tape, I put a stable rug on. I will admit that it's very rarely, as you can see, this one's very, very clean. It is very, very rarely. I haven't got anything, you've just had your dinner, that I dig out the stable rugs. To be honest with you, they're generally permanently in turnouts. I say they, Dinks doesn't even wear a turnout. He is, however, currently in his dry rugs because I think this morning we have literally had more rain than we've had in the whole year so far. I can't believe we went into Truro and the roads were just so flooded. So, to give the little man a chance to dry off, we've kitted him out in his little dry rug that he hasn't actually worn yet, this one, have you? He had one of the prototypes when they were first making them for miniatures, didn't you, Dinks? But this is his own branded. We do have to put hashtag gifted on this, Dinks, but look, how good do you look? It's a little bit big on the neck, but that's just so we can dry you, same as Banksy's. Anyways, let's get on with the vlog. Where was I? Well, oh, hello again. What was I saying? I should have done this inside because I always get sidetracked when I'm outside with the horses. So, where was I? This week's vlog was hopefully, as I said, going to be me and Em going off training, filming our second dressage riders online, doing some pole work, doing something exciting with the ponies, but Dennis the Menace has put pay to that. So, being a rainy, windy day, I need to do some sort of vlog content that can be done primarily inside. Obviously, I still got to come outside and see to the animals, but I thought I would actually get my beep in gear and do my 2019 season review, because Emily did hers quite a few weeks ago now. She uploaded it, was it mid-January? It was before we went skiing, so yeah, beginning of January even. She was on the ball, got it done, and yeah, I've been slacking, mainly because I'm a bit gutted that I know I have deleted quite a lot of the footage, but I can go and watch the vlogs on YouTube and then do some screen recording. So I apologise in advance if the quality isn't as good as you are used to seeing. It's my fault for panicking and hastily deleting videos when my phone pops up that has run out of storage, which happens quite often. However, my New Year's resolution is definitely to refrain from doing that. Think, is what I'm about to film worth panic deleting loads of other stuff? No, probably not, so don't do it. So the reason this vlog sits in nicely as a collaboration with Digital Horse is because they are currently on the search for their brand ambassadors for the 2020 season. They're searching for brand ambassadors in four categories. I've already posted about the dressage, then they're doing eventing, which is why it fits with now, and show jumping, and then more of an all-rounder. Basically, you don't even need to be competing to apply to be an ambassador, you just need to be passionate about sharing your horsey journey. You don't even have to own a horse. But I will put a link to that video below so that I don't duplicate everything that was said in that one, and get straight into the reason why they are sponsoring this video. So because I said to them I need to do my end of season roundup, I feel really bad that it's like the middle of February, I still haven't done it. I really want to do it, primarily for me, so that I can look back and see what a fab season we had. When I was looking through at my results this morning, we don't fall bus. I realised that we actually did, although it started really well and got a little bit worse throughout the season rather than starting and progressing to get better, it still was a really fab set of results. We did 6 BE events and I think 3 riding club events, so a total of 9 one-day events during last season, which, considering Banksy got his cough in August and was out of action for 6 weeks, I don't think that's bad going at all. And obviously, because I am also a BE ambassador, I am going to mainly focus on the British eventing events, which were 6 we did. We did Bovington, Pontisbull, Bicton, Launceston, they might have been the other way around, Pontisbull again, and I didn't do Treborough because that's when he had a cough. Port Elliot, Bovington, Bicton, Launceston, and then Pontisbull. No, that's only 5. One more. Launceston twice. No, I didn't do Launceston twice because I was up early. So yes, we did Bovington first. I remember that now because Mummy came up with us. Then we did Port Elliot, which is nice and close to home. Then we did Pontisbull, just as the May Pontisbull, not the regional final at the end of the year. Then we did Bicton in the summer, then we did Launceston in the summer. Then Banksy had his cough, but thankfully was well enough to then do Pontisbull at the end of the year. So I'm mainly gonna focus on showing you guys the footage and the results and how I feel all of those went. Obviously I'll fit in a bit of the riding club stuff in between too, but I'm going to primarily focus on them purely because I've got all the stats in front of me and I know exactly how I did, and because I'm going to be going into Digital Horse's site and updating our eventing record on there. Obviously you can access all your records on the British eventing site, but it's good that you can actually upload it onto Digital Horse too. So I'm going to go through with you guys how to do that, because not only can you upload your results from last season, you can also upload your training, so it helps you, I think, stay motivated and inspired to keep on top of that. I would love to say that we are at the moment, but the weather is kind of putting pay to that. However, when Emily is back from Thailand and I am back from my second ski trip, eek, did I mention anything about that? If you haven't seen the post, I'll put a link to that below as well, but that's not what this vlog is about. Maybe we'll mention a bit more about that next week, if you don't already know. But for now, as you can see, it is actually getting dark. I'm gonna head inside and start off with showing you guys again quickly how easy it is to get onto Digital Horse, and then I will start with our first event of the season, which was Bovington, which actually I think, reflecting back, aside from Swellcliffe, the Riding Club National Championships, was probably my favourite event of the season because I just absolutely loved every single second of it. Me and Em were buzzing all the way home from that one. We were just on such a high. We both were a little bit naughty and did go too fast in the cross country, but we didn't take into consideration the fact that they had taken a jump out. So the reason that we were that little bit too quick may well have been attributed by that, but I think it might well be our own faults for having far too much fun and ignoring our stopwatches. So we slapped ourselves on the wrist and did not make that mistake again throughout the rest of the season, although I nearly did at Pontypool in my regional final. However, we'll get to that later on in this vlog. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, please do give it a thumbs up. It means a lot. I always enjoy reading your comments. They mean so much. And if you have any questions about Digital Horse or their ambassadorship, do pop me a message, private message on Facebook or Instagram, and I will more than happily respond to you or find out the answer to your question if I do not know it. So if you're new to Digital Horse, this is the home screen. You literally can click login. It's digitalhorse.co.uk, nice and simple. I'm not sure how the quality is going to come out of me filming the screen from my phone onto my laptop, but we're giving it a go. And I always just sign in with Facebook because it's so easy. You just literally click continue with Facebook. Apologies for the speed of my internet today. It's a little bit slow because of the storm. You previously logged into Digital Horse with Facebook. Would you like to continue? Okay. And then it shows my notifications up here. And I did just think I would show this quickly. Look, it's given me people to accept and decline connection requests off. So we'll accept. I'll put mark all as read just for a minute. Normally I would actually have a read and see what they were, but I can scroll back through them later. And then if I go to my profile over here on the left-hand side, there you'll see me and Banksy. And the reason for me going into this before starting with my results and our first event at Bovington is because I know that I did start to update my record in here, but didn't actually get very far. I think I just did the first two. So if we go into Banksy, and the bit that says see full profile, just over here, it's got all the information that I've already put in about him. And then over on the left-hand side, it says competition, training history, stable management, gallery. So that's where, obviously, speaks for itself. You can put your competition history in, training history, and then in like the stable management, you can put in like chiropractor appointments, farrier visits, when jabs are due, things like that. And that's another area that I do need to go into and update. So I won't be doing that today, but I will be adding to our competition record. So as I said, as you can see, the first two events in April are already on there. I did them a fair few weeks ago now, but I will be adding further 4B events to that so that we get all 6 in there. And then hopefully I can look back at the end of this season and compare my results from the beginning of last season to this season. Fingers crossed they're just as good, because 2019 was actually pretty epic for us. My goal of 2019 was purely just to enjoy my horse. 2018 wasn't a good year for us. Not really to do with anything to do with Banks or myself as a partnership, more to do with my frame of mind and my confidence. And yeah, that in turn, I'm not going to go into that because that's in the past now, but that in turn did affect my ability in the saddle, shall I say, just my self-belief. I had a huge lack of self-belief in 2018, but thankfully 2019 was wicked. I completely changed my mindset and yeah, just went out with the aim of purely enjoying myself. And I can hand on heart say that every single event that we did last year, I was like this, smiling, grinning from ear to ear, loved every second. Even that silly run out that we had at the Hessian Sacks that I know full well was my fault. Literally, I was laughing about it. So that really was the aim, was purely to enjoy my horse, and I did. Enjoyed every second, regardless of the results, good or bad. So let's start with Bovington. For those of you who don't know, I'll put a little snippet in here. The previous time that I went to Bovington prior to this was when we got eliminated in the dressage phase because of the pesky seagulls. I'm not going to put the footage in, but I will upload the photo. We literally had about 15 seagulls swarming around us throughout the whole test. And yes, so it didn't hold good memories for me at all. And with it being the first event of the season, it was a bit like, I don't know if I want to go back to the land of the pesky seagulls, but we went, as I said, with the mindset of purely enjoying it. The aim of the game is just to complete. And we did, and we literally had the best day. So let's see what footage I have got of that, and we'll include it here, and I'll do a little bit of a voiceover over some of it and summarise at the end. Okay, I got sidetracked last night. Well, not so much sidetracked, but as I put my phone down from filming the bits on Digital Horse, I saw on Instagram the devastating news of Caroline Flack's death. And it really hit me. It just shocked me. I'm not even going to speak about it because all the posts that I've read ever since repeat the message of, if you haven't got anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And that's just so true. The media, whether it be the papers and the mainstream media or whether it be social media, in my opinion, do just need to stop and realise the effects of their words. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that matter, because it is really really upsetting. Oh, so I turned my phone off. Well, no, I didn't turn it off. I locked it, put it down, left it in the room, and yeah, didn't use it for the rest of the evening, just spent time with my loved ones. So I'm back this morning to reminisce and talk about Bovington, our first event of the season, which, looking back, was actually, yeah, that can make me smile again. That was fab memories. Oh, lost my train of thought. That was fab memories. You finished your breakfast now, haven't you, sweetheart? I know. Let's get you out, and then we will start with Bovington, finally. Bovington BE90, first event of the season. Okay, Bovington is about a 4-hour drive from us. So it was quite an early start, however, not our earliest. I remember we got everything ready the night before, did all the pampering and preening, and then I picked Emily up about 6:30ish, so it wasn't too early. I mean, we've been known to leave at 4 o'clock in the morning for some events. I remember feeling super nervous, and a long drive when you're feeling super nervous isn't necessarily the best thing, but at least it keeps your concentration on something else, especially when you're towing precious cargo. I think we arrived just around 11 o'clock. We were a tiny bit later than we anticipated because the weather hadn't been great on the way up. And then we had to walk the course because our times were so close together. We were quite near the end of the sections. We had dressage, show jumping, cross country, all within the space of like an hour and a half. So there wouldn't have been any time to walk the course after the dressage. Because it was the first event of the season, we wanted to just have fun, hopefully have a steady clear and come away smiling. So yeah, before we knew it, it was time to get on and do the dressage. Obviously I'll put in the footage here of the dressage, but I didn't actually have much because, well, because of this.
It's facing me, for God's sake.
Looking back on it now, it's absolutely hilarious, to be honest with you. And I'm so glad that is one item of footage I hadn't deleted off of my phone. But yeah, just so funny. Poor mum, got the camera stuck in selfie mode. But thankfully she had a good camera with her and managed to get some lovely pictures, as we did a really nice test and scored 28. Moving straight onto the show jumping, he was absolutely awesome. It was like he had been eventing all winter. He just popped around it all quite happily, tidily, wasn't too strong, wasn't too silly, just was an absolute dude, to be fair. I really enjoyed the round, and we went clear. And then out onto the cross country, he was an absolute machine, a lot stronger than the show jumping.
And bounded over the big stand at 12. Here's Fancy the third and Tina Wallace. Looking very enthusiastic as they make this turn. Nicely over the viaduct. Complete their round.
Go Banks, go.
As the commentator said, extremely enthusiastic. So much so that sadly we did end up going a little bit too fast, which sadly actually knocked us out of second place. Oh. Yeah, the time penalties were very costly, which dropped us down to 22nd, but the thing was, we both enjoyed ourselves massively and drove all the way back to Cornwall grinning our heads off.
I think I went faster than you, which is I've never done.
So yeah, our next event was at Port Eliot, which is a nice local venue to us, only an hour and a half's drive. It's quite a hilly venue.
Yeah, the camera really doesn't show quite how steep that hill is, but I think my puffing does.
And having previously done an event just 2 weeks before, Banksy knew exactly what was coming prior to the dressage. He was wired. I got on his back and he was so tense, so excited. A bit of a heller in the warm-up, I will admit, but thankfully did relax after the first canter in the test. Lovely in the walk there, and produced a lovely test to gain a 29.3, which I was absolutely chuffed with. On to show jumping, and I absolutely love jumping on grass, as does Banksy. I prefer it to being in an arena. He was awesome, we kept all the poles up, and then it was on to the cross country where he was ridiculously excited. Look at that leg. He knew exactly what was coming and could not wait for the starter to count him out of the start box. He was feisty. He was like, just let's go, Mum. Why are we waiting? Come on, let's go. With it being such a hilly course, you literally only see the first jump, and then we're pretty much gone out of sight until we're heading towards the last jump. So not much footage of that, but a slow, steady canter because we might have gone a little bit speedy downhill. Up, over the final fence. And canter across the finish line.
So I pushed on down the hill and then I trotted to that last fence. So I was like, but I canted, yeah, you canted the finishing line around the corner, hence I came back to trot. And I was like, oh, can I jump it from top now? Two double clears! Sub-30! Oh, and two sub-30s, yes, more importantly. And we might just be heading to prize giving. It's not very often we both do well, so we are going to embrace this moment 100%.
This is the first of many to come for this year.
Okay, I hold you to that. Yeah, hold you.
So as you can see from those clips, that footage, the first two events of the season were absolutely epic. We both really enjoyed it, both myself and Emily, and also both the horses, Banksy and Lola. It was like they'd been doing it all winter. They knew exactly what the score was. They were just as excited, probably more excited than we were. And yeah, they were just awesome. So chuffed with how the first two events went. It was then a bit of a break before our next event. Pontypool wasn't until the end of May. And I think I've got a bit more of that footage saved, thankfully. Unfortunately, lots of that footage that I've just showed you was screen recorded from my phone off YouTube. But at this point, I thought it'd be good to say a little bit about vlogging and content creating and how you do need to be keen at doing it in order to apply for the brand ambassador role for Digital Horse. Obviously, it's a digital platform, very much like Facebook, that you use. So you need to be keen on creating content and keen on sharing it with your followers. It doesn't matter how many followers you have, that's not important. It just needs to be something that you enjoy doing. Like, I know lots of people are shy to put their face to the camera and find it daunting, but honestly, just practice. I always used to say to Emily, talk to the camera as if it's your mum. Tell her what you've been up to on your day, because it's so lovely to look back on. Literally just watching the Port Eliot vlog just then, I was just like, oh, all those epic memories. And I think by Digital Horse giving you guys this opportunity, it will like push you to get into it. Like, I never did this until I did my audition for the Blue Chip All Star Academy. Those of you that haven't seen that, I'll put a link in the description below. So that will give you a bit of an idea of the sort of context that Digital Horse are looking for in your applications. You will need to make a short video and you will need to upload it to both your Digital Horse platform and either your Instagram or your Facebook. So just do be aware that that is part of the entry. All the other terms and conditions for the entry I will put in the description below this video. But I just wanted to make you guys aware of that and encourage you that you can do it. It really is worthwhile. Vlogging, I know it's a relatively new thing, but it's just so rewarding and so many incredible opportunities can come from it. The places and things that me and Emily have done together this year have just been insane. Go do it, guys. And if, as I said, if you've got any questions, do just put me a message. Feel free to ask and I'll happily help you. But for now, let's get on to Pontispool. Test sheet says that it was lacking energy and it could be more forward. Could be more willing to go forwards.
Yeah, they don't know Banksy, do
I'm going
they?
to tell Banksy that. However, looking at the footage back, yeah, he was lacking impulsion. He wasn't particularly forward. There wasn't that much activity there. He was a little bit overbent. And yeah, you can actually see I was having to use my leg quite a lot. So I think a 32 was actually very, very fair for that test. On to show jumping. He was pinging away as usual. Bless his heart. He was loving it. I get a little bit daunted in arenas like this because there's so many people around watching, and yeah, I'd happily just go away and do your little own show jumping course on grass. Much more than an arena. However, Banksy wasn't fazed. He knew the task in hand and got on with it. Then it was on to the cross country. And as I said, he was very, very lucky here. He was like, We were leaving the lorry park. I think he was quite distracted with everything that was going on around him. The first couple of fences were quite small, shared with the 80, which I think didn't help because I didn't have to ride them quite as positively. Look at him, look at this. Completely took me by surprise. Gave him a little talking to. Listen to me, listen to me. And once we were over the third, we were on our way, shall I say. Speedy, speedy. This is well into the course now. And then coming up towards the final few, we took it nice and steady. Second to last fence. So yeah, after we got the first few jumps out of the way, he was awesome. But the first few, he was just a bit lucky, which is not like him. Normally he knows, cross country, go. But he was a little distracted. But a lovely clear all the same. And a fantastic result, 32 double clear to come second.
You picked me up 12 hours ago.
When you put it like that.
Oh no, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're still here because I can go prize giving.
Somebody has got another regional final ticket. Whoop, whoop.
Having had 3 fantastic results, it gave us the confidence boost that we needed to get entered up for the Riding Club qualifier, which is held at our most local BE venue, which is Launceston, and that was 3 weeks after Pontispool, so it was towards mid to end of June, which worked really well because there weren't actually any BE events that we could logistically get to during that month, so it worked really well. We got all entered, stepped back up to 100, and again, I had a pretty fab day, despite one silly little mistake. However, because it's a team event, it did still mean that the combination of the scores meant that our team did really, really well, and we won, which meant we qualified to go to the championships, which was the 3-day event, which obviously we'll get to a bit later on in this video, but I'm sure those of you that have followed the vlog for a while will have already watched that vlog. That is the most viewed vlog of all time, I believe, the National Championships at Swaycliffe, which is what runs in the 3-day format where we get to do the trot up and we get to do roads, tracks, steeplechase, and yeah, proper 3-day format, which you don't get to do anymore at many venues at all. So to qualify for that was really, really rewarding, and yeah, it gave us all a big buzz. It's so fab doing the Riding Club team events. We absolutely love it. So here's my footage from that event. I think we had I don't actually have the test to hand, and obviously that is not on my BE record, so I can't look it up. But that's another reason why Digital Horse is so good, because if I had been a member back then, I could have put my record straight onto it, and then I'd be able to keep track of it and tell you my exact score. But I'm pretty sure my dressage was 22.3, and we went clear show jumping. And unfortunately, yeah, had a bit of a mistake, a silly mistake cross country, which knocked us out of first place individually. It really didn't matter though, because I think the show jumping round was like the most fun I have ever had show jumping. He was absolutely epic. I always say that he prefers jumping on grass, as do I, but he was literally on springs, pulling me around, saying, "I got this, mum, come on, keep up with me," and I was just like giggling my head off. And you can hear my dad giggling in the footage too, which is just lovely. I just love watching this back and hearing it. He was awesome. Oh, I got a little bit deep there, but then you to collect for those next few strides to get the second part right. That was the giggles. Spring! Loved it. Loved every second of that show jumping round. Good boy, Banksy.
Too fast, but
Second too
that's
fast, you
about
can't complain at.
it. Yeah.
Tina went out a little bit nervous. Banks
Smashed all the hard
Complicated
combinations. Like the brushes that she was worried about, the number 12 that she
was worried about. Celebrated jump number 12, which was quite a drop on landing, went woohoo! And then didn't ride the line that we actually, or I walked. I don't think you even walked the line.
No, I just knew that I wanted
was
to
like-
go out towards the fence, and I did do that.
When we
actually.
walked to the course, we were like, we'll
That
take
was
this.
the ditch, by the way. It was
Yeah.
the one before the ditch, wasn't it? Which
Yeah.
is why I was
Didn't want to walk it
walking
properly.
because I was like, I don't want to look at it too much.
I walked a nice wide line and was like, yep, get straight for 13, see 15 in the distance, stay nice and straight through. Trying to help you out. And then mess it up myself. Jumped number 12, celebrated too much, went woohoo, counted around the corner, didn't go wide and take the line, and jackass here, spooks at the, what were they? They were like potato,
Sandbags.
like
Sand.
canvas, no, what are they called? Like,
Old-fashioned potato sacks,
yeah,
aren't they?
old-fashioned potato sacks. Come around the corner and he went, woo, not going near that. Whereas if I'd come wide and had a nice straight line, I
You
could
would
have
have
dug
realised.
my spurs in and channeled him straight through it. But I didn't, so you live and you learn.
Yeah.
20 penalties, thank you.
Which is a shame because our dressage scores
We're very good.
first and second.
Oh well.
No
Every day's a
smoking.
school day. However, as I said, the team did fabulous and we still ended up winning and qualifying, so that was an awesome result. Next up was Bicton B90, which was a couple of days after my birthday, Saturday the 6th of July, and it was El Scorchio.
Hello, both of you.
Robbo helped us prep everything the day before. Well, he just read our lists out to make sure we didn't forget anything.
I actually don't know where it is.
It wasn't too much of an early start, however, as I said, it was boiling,
Try and ensure that the ponies have some shade, so we've
hence the
yes,
parking
it's come back out. Yes, you can see the shade. So
tactically
rather
to
than
try and find shade.
park over there, where
It was just me and
everybody
Em that
else
went, so we didn't
is,
actually have much
end of the
footage.
field, so that hopefully.
However,
Actually,
a
I'm
couple of
gonna
people
turn
did
round,
film
because
some
that's
little
not
bits for
fun.
us, which was kind of them. Now, Banksy is generally pretty lethargic when it's really hot weather, so I was really surprised in the dressage warm-up when he was feisty. Very feisty. We were in the bottom arena and there was like 6 arenas up above this one, and this was the only one down at the bottom on its own, and he couldn't understand why he had to be so far away from all the other horses. Thankfully, we managed to keep it together and contain his enthusiasm for a respectful score of 32 dressage. A keen bean show jumping round, unfortunately just the last pole down for 4 faults, followed by an awesome clear cross country, which unfortunately we didn't get any footage of, to end on 35, but a very competitive section, leaving us in 18th. Thankfully, between Bicton and the Riding Club champs at Swaycliffe, we did have another chance at a run at 100. So on the 21st of July, which was 2 weeks after Picton, we were back up to Launceston again where the qualifiers were held because it was their British eventing event. So we entered the 100 again. Good prep for the Riding Club Champs. And how did we do? A 31.8 dressage. Unfortunately, 2 down show jumping. But an awesome clear round within the time at 100. So was buzzing with that. That was exactly the run cross country that we needed prior to the Champs. The Champs is a testing track. It's dressage. Basically you have to do your trot up on the first day, then your dressage, then the next day you do your roads, your tracks, your steeplechase and your cross country all on the one day, and then the following day you have to trot up again, make sure the ponies are sound, and then you do your show jumping on the final day. Now I'm not going to include too much footage from the Champs because there is a whole hour-long vlog all about it on my channel already, and there's also a voiceover of my cross country that I did a few months later, which was really nice at the time to reflect and look back on how awesome our toughest track to date rode. Really love watching that video back. It is absolutely epic. So I'm just going to include the little snippets that I've put over this and a little bit of the steeplechase because Banksy was absolutely in his element. He was chuffed. His mummy finally let the handbrake off. It's not very often I let him go full throttle, and he absolutely loved every second of it. And I actually really enjoyed it too because it just gave you that bond to go around the steeplechase and then the roads and tracks and then head straight out cross country after the vet check without actually having to be in a warm-up arena or with any other horses and riders. It was literally just you and your horse for almost a solid, gosh, what are the roads, tracks and steeplechase? 45. So you're nearly an hour you're out. The horses had to be very fit. As I said, there's a full-on hour-long vlog on that whole event, which I will put a link to below so that I don't go and waste loads and loads of minutes on that one now, because I could talk about that event all day long forever because it was just absolutely awesome. My favourite event of the year. It's, yeah, and fingers crossed we can qualify to get back there again next year. Would absolutely love that. We finished on a 35 dressage, clear cross country, within the time road tracks and steeplechase, and I think about 8 or 9 penalties slow on the cross country, and then we had 3 down show jumping on the final day, but I was still absolutely delighted. And as a team we managed to finish 5th, and we only had 3 team members, so that was an absolute epic result at the National Championships out of about 18 teams. Sadly though, following on from that event, Banksy had to have a little bit of time off because he had a cough. It wasn't anything too serious, it was only when he was working hard that he got this really dry cough. If I just hacked him, he was absolutely fine. He didn't cough at all. It was only when asked to work in an outline. I took him to the vets. They said they thought it was a mild form of equine asthma and gave him some, basically the horsey version of the asthma pumps. Ventapulmin, I believe it's called. A liquid that you put in his food. And then also NAF kindly sent me their respiratory boost, which really helped him. And I could still hack him, so it wasn't like he lost all his fitness. He was still kept ticking over, so to speak. He just couldn't compete, sadly. So we didn't manage to do any more events then until 6 weeks later, which was our regional final at Pontypool. Obviously, with not having been able to compete or not having been able to school him, I was very underprepared. So I didn't hold out any hope, to be honest with you, of qualifying. I knew that we could have been better prepared, but I was just glad to have the boy out doing what he loves and not coughing. Bless his heart. So, yeah, unfortunately not the end of the season we would have liked, but the fact that we finished the season safe and sound and happy and smiley was absolutely the main thing. So there we have it. That was the end of our season. Pontypool was our final event. We did think and hope that we might have been able to have a last run, another regional final at Bovington, but unfortunately due to the persistent rain that we have been having everywhere across the country ever since last September, it got rained off and abandoned. So we do have one more regional final ticket, which shall be used in April. It will be our first event of the season, so again, not putting any pressure on, but there is still a chance of getting to badminton. Both myself and Emily are able to enter that, and yeah, fingers crossed. I have absolutely loved making this vlog, looking back and reminiscing over all those memories, all those fab times with my bestie, with my ponyo. Shame you can't come with us, isn't it? You'd love eventing. He's going to have to be a trailer cat, not a trailer dog, aren't you? Because you never leave my side. Oh, Buzz. But it really has reiterated how fun and how beneficial, really, vlogging is. I absolutely love it because you get to look back, relive all those memories, get the goosebumps and feel the emotion all over again. And yeah, I just absolutely love it. I'm so glad I vlogged. Lots of people feel nervous, I think, when they first start doing it. It feels a little bit weird talking to yourself, technically. Always helps when you've got an animal around because you can pretend you're talking to the cat. I completely understand and completely get why lots of people feel nervous when they first start doing it. As I said previously, just pretend you're talking to your mum or your best friend when you're holding the camera up. Don't feel shy, just practice, practice, practice. Practice on Instagram stories. So top tips, if you are thinking of entering the Digital Horse Brand Ambassador competition, firstly, have an animal by your side. It's so much easier vlogging when you've got some company. Doesn't need to be a friend. It can be a furry companion. I used to always find vlogging so much easier when I had Banksy. Yeah, you can move now, Puss, thanks. When I had Banksy next to me, literally, being alone or being with Banksy, and I could just talk, as you all well know, I can talk for England, but I could talk so much easier with Banksy by my side. Tip number 2, invest in one of these. They are absolutely fab. It's a Manfrotto universal phone holder tripod. So you put your phone in there. Obviously I've had to take it out of there now to film this, and then you can open the legs up. You can put it on the floor or you can hold it, without pinching your fingers, like that. You can get them off Amazon. They're about £25, and then all different size phones fit in there. Well, I say all, do check they all fit, but it expands to quite wide. Always make sure if you're filming on a phone, not an actual camera, that you look at the lens. Obviously the lens on here is here. So don't go looking at the screen, because if you look at the screen, you won't be looking at the lens. That's me looking dead straight at the screen now. And obviously to you, it doesn't look like I'm looking at the camera. If I look at the lens, now you know that I'm looking at the camera. If you're filming on an actual camera, obviously the lens will be like a circle in the middle, so it's so much easier to look directly at it. But when you're filming on a phone, especially if it's in selfie mode, you need to pinpoint where the lens is and make sure you talk directly to the lens. Try not to talk too fast, but also try not to talk too slow. There's a fine line. It takes practice. I do think that sometimes I do still talk too fast. My husband talks far too fast, so I get that from him. And also I get a bit excited and carried away about what I'm saying. And then basically just practice, practice, practice. Remember, you're recording, you're the one editing, so you can edit bits out, pause, stop, retake as many times as you like. It doesn't have to be one whole fluid paragraph. You can stop. So you say a few words, 1 or 2 sentences, and then pause. And then that makes it easy for you to then carry on and edit in the next bit. Whereas if you just go and don't actually stop for breath at any point, it will make it really, really hard to edit it together if you do make a mistake. When you've done your practicing, head over to the Brand Ambassador 2020 T's and C's, because basically, as we've said previously, they're looking for somebody to be passionate about sharing their journey and who's passionate about using and very active using Digital Horse. But there is a few questions you need to answer. Oh, it also tells you what you'll receive as an ambassador, but you can go and check that out yourselves. I'm not going to pause on that. We are going straight to the questions. There we go. The entries for the eventing is open now, and it's open until 1 minute to midnight on Sunday. Yeah, there, look, that confirms that. They opened last Monday, and they are closing at 11:59 on Sunday. Shortlist announcement Monday the 24th. Winner announced, or winners. I believe there could be more than one if the applications are high. And then instantly, as soon as that's closed, then the show jumping category opens. But do make sure you go to the T's and C's and find the questions that you need to answer in your audition video. And as I've said previously, if anybody's got any questions, do feel free to put me a message. I will do my very best to assist you. But most of all, just be you. All they're looking for is passionate equestrians. And I'm pretty sure the majority of people that watch my channel are passionate equestrians, keen on creating content and sharing their journey the same as I do on social media. That's all you need to do, aside from being a signed up active member to Digital Horse. I wish you all the very best of luck. Again, any questions, do feel free to ask. I hope you enjoyed this vlog and enjoyed reminiscing with me, and fingers crossed that next week myself and Em will be back doing something together prior to her leaving for Thailand. That's it for tonight, folks. Bye-bye.
What you like to do, what you like to